Okay, how's it going, everybody? Today is April 1st. It's Wednesday. I'm just checking in. Just wanted to go over a couple things real quick with you. First of all, check your grades. Make sure that things you think you've turned in are actually graded. I see lots of Google Docs that look like they have stuff written in them, but they're not turned in, so I haven't touched them. So make sure what you think you've turned in for the first assignment, which was the movie critique, and the second assignment, which was your script that you had to write. This week is the documentary stuff. Don't worry about checking on that one. Get it done by Friday. Check on that next week. Okay, so just a couple of those quick points. Take care of that. If you did not watch my first video on Monday, it has a little mini lesson in it for this week where you have to answer some questions about what you see in my video, and then you're to watch some other documentary and answer the questions about it, all in Google Classroom. So check out that first video. I'll also stick it at the end of this video so you can just keep on going if you didn't watch it on Monday. So that's my quick catching up for you. Today's April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. I don't have any April Fool's things for you, but I have a joke if you want to listen to a joke for a minute. Okay? All right, this one's called the rope joke. If you've already heard it, you can stop. So 3 ropes walk into a pizza shop. Yeah, 3 ropes, like a piece of string, a rope. So 3 ropes, they walk into the pizza shop and they say to the guy behind the counter, like, hey, can we get 3 slices and 3 Cokes to go? And the guy behind the counter looks at him and he goes, aren't you guys ropes? Ropes, they look at each other. They're like, yeah, we're ropes. Guy goes, sorry, we just don't serve ropes here. I'm sorry, you have to go. The ropes walk outside and like, what was that all about? One rope goes, I got an idea. I'm gonna get us some pizza. He runs in, he sneaks into the bathroom, he looks himself in the mirror and he goes, all right, I gotta disguise myself. And he looks at himself and he goes, I'm too skinny. So he ties himself into a big knot, right? You got this big knot going on. And he goes, my head, it's too flat. You can still tell. So he frays out the top of the rope on the top of his head and he's got the big knot going in his gut. He goes, all right, I'm gonna go for this. Goes back up to the counter, says, I got a large pizza to go. Guy behind the counter looks at him. All right, he starts making the pizza and he comes back over and he goes, I'm sorry, are you a rope? And the rope says, I'm afraid not. Get it? I'm afraid not, and I'm afraid not. It's a classic. All right, share that one with the family and friends. If you didn't watch Monday's video, here it comes right after this. You can keep on watching and make sure you get this documentary assignment done by Friday. All right, everybody, have a great day. All right, hello, everybody. Today is Monday, March 30th. Let me go over with you quickly what the lesson is for this week. So this week's lesson is about documentary films, okay, or documentary TV shows, but it's all about documentaries. There's going to be 2 assignments this week, okay? Assignment number 1 will be for you to watch this video. I have 2 quick mini lessons within this video. It'll be about 4 minutes long. And when you are done watching my lesson, you will go to the Google Doc, find the assignment called Documentary Critique 1, and answer some questions about what you watched here in my lesson. So let's take a look.
I think a documentary is anything you want it to be, as long as it's factual, it's real, and that's the magic of it. It's about real people and real lives, and within that you can do anything you want.
The simplest way to explain it is that documentaries document life. Fiction is from screenplays and scripts, and documentary is about people, real lives, real stories.
The key to a great documentary is storytelling. And you can have amazing characters, you can have a fascinating subject, but if you don't crack the storytelling, then you won't have a great documentary.
It's got to hit you in the heart when you watch it. Whether it's based on a factual story or a personal story, there's always got to be a human story at the heart of it. If you care about the people's stories that are within it, then you won't want to switch off.
All right, so that's what a documentary is. I'm sure you all know, but I had to show you. All right, the next thing you're going to see is how an editor edits a documentary and things that you have to film as a documentary filmmaker. You're going to see a term called A-roll and B-roll. A-roll essentially are interviews. B-roll is the extra footage that is filmed to help fill out the story.
A and B-roll. These are the two most common types of footage used in videos. They play two completely different roles, and they need to be understood to tell a great story. Here's A and B-roll explained. A-roll and B-roll get their names from film's heyday when editors would use two identical rolls, an A-roll and a B-roll, to create transitions between shots. Since most video production today is digital, rolls are far less common, but the terms have stuck. A-roll is the video or audio that tells the story, acting as the backbone of the video. Typically, this is an interview, a news segment, or any dialogue or video that serves as the main narrative driver. But watching an interview or news segment without any other visuals can suffer from being very boring. It's just a talking head, and there's nothing breaking it up to supplement what they're talking about. Plus, A-roll can be imperfect. Flubs, ums, uhs, coughs, and rambling dialogue all need to be removed. In order to cover up these imperfections, you need to add B-roll. B-roll is the footage that supplements and supports the A-roll with several different uses. Currently, my A-roll is talking to you about B-roll, while the B-roll is showing you my Premiere interface. The first use of B-roll is to break up A-roll. In this case, we've got a soundbite from the interview subject, but it's kind of long, so we want to add some B-roll to make it more interesting. The next use is to cover edit points. If you take the same soundbite and take out the least important parts or any stutters or ums, it will jump between the cuts. Putting B-roll over that keeps it interesting and hides the edits, making it seem like a more concise answer. Next, B-roll is used to visually show the story that's being told. This is different from the first use, but only slightly. The interview subject may not be boring, but if they're talking about something specific, the B-roll can show exactly what they're talking about. Lastly, B-roll can serve as a transition between separate A-roll segments. If your next A-roll section begins a new topic or line of discussion, a straight transition might be incredibly abrupt. Instead, inserting a few B-roll clips can let it breathe and act as a buffer between new or different A-roll pieces. Whatever B-roll footage you choose to use, make sure each shot supports the narrative being driven by the A-roll media. Without B-roll, many stories would suffer because they wouldn't be that dynamic. A news anchor talking about dramatic and catastrophic environmental disasters just wouldn't be the same without shots of buildings on fire, volcanoes erupting, or houses flooded in a residential neighborhood. B-roll can bring an entire story to life.
Now you're going to go to the Google Classroom, go to the Google Doc. It'll be called Documentary Critique. You will see it. Answer questions about what you just saw. Then watch your own documentary, whatever you want, and then in that same Google Doc, answer the questions about what you watched. Got it? Turn in one Google document that has 2 assignments in it. All right, that's it, everybody. Have a great week. Everything is due on Friday.